looking for win number 2 in Big East Conference play. The Pittsburgh Panthers find themselves in uncharted waters as Ashton Gibbs and company have lost 8 in a row and are yet to win in the Big East. It's Providence and Pitt, a critical game for both, next. It's Big East basketball. Tonight we are in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's the Golden Triangle, and Big East basketball is presented by PNC. Delighted to have you with us. We're on the campus of the University of Pittsburgh. Matter of fact, at the Peterson Center, along with former Big East coach, veteran analyst Bob Wenzel. I'm John Sanders. Two teams desperately in search of a conference win tonight.
It is so unusual to say that Pittsburgh does not have a win in the Big East. 0-7. They have been the model of consistency. 10 straight NCAA tournaments. They're not playing defense. They're not getting the easy shots that they normally get. They've got a lot of work to do.
Let's talk about it in our one-on-one tonight. Things that each of these teams need to do.
Providence can be a little wild at times. So what they've got to do is create and take quality shots, not quantity of shots. Pittsburgh, winning is too far away. They've got to narrow their focus and just worry about each possession and play the game that way and let the winning take care of itself at the end of the game.
Well, Vincent Council takes care of the offense for Providence. He's one of the top assist men in the Big East.
Yes, and he's a great scorer as well. He's the man for Providence. 7 assists a game, 16 points a game. Great vision, great accuracy. Kid is a player.
The player for Pittsburgh has to be Ashton Gibbs. If he's missing in action, they got a problem.
Averages 16 a game, John, and with Trayvon Woodall in the game, he should be able to move without it like you see him here. A catch-and-shoot player, move without the ball, get that follow-through going, and then when he does that, they've got a chance.
It's Big East basketball from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The opening tip for Providence and Pitt coming up after this. From Pittsburgh is being brought to you by PNC for the Achiever in You, and by the 2012 ESPN National Golf Challenge. Go to ESPNGolf.com to sign up today. Just about set for the opening tip tonight here at the Peterson Event Center. Not as many people as we're used to seeing. It is a midweek game. Ed Cooley, in his first year as the head coach of the Providence Friars, had good success when he coached at his previous place, Fairfield, for 5 years, and of course a lot of people remember him as a longtime assistant at Boston College. Now for Jamie Dixon, it's been a struggle. Obviously they lost 8 in a row. This has never happened to a Jamie Dixon team.
It's really very interesting because, you know, there are a lot of teams who have lost this many games at various times during their existence. Not so with Jamie. You know, as an assistant at Pittsburgh, great success, and of course as the head coach here, ninth season. And the Peterson Event Center, normally a place where nobody wins. They've been beaten here this year by quite a few groups.
Still a terrific record. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Friars. When they make one change, Belial Dixon will get a start tonight. They go a little bit bigger.
I think they're trying to go bigger, and it also what it does is it lets LaDante Henton play the small forward position, which suits him better.
Well, the Pitt Panthers have used a lot of different starting lineups. They've used a lot of different starters. Matter of fact, 11 different starting lineups for Pittsburgh, showing you that Jamie's trying to find the right combination.
Well, the key guy there is Trayvon Woodall.
Vincent Council, you see the series numbers between these two teams. Panthers winning last year on the road at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. First shot is a little strong. The rebound is tracked down by Pittsburgh's Lamar Patterson. Panthers' first possession of the night. Woodall backs away with 11 on the shot clock. We're in the opening minute.
Gibbs is off the ball. That's a good thing.
Robinson with a good feed and a foul. Foul will go against PC. It'll be their first of the night.
Good possession by Pittsburgh right there, John. Trey Woodall took the ball, knew where the shot clock was, got a quality shot. I think Talib should have gone up quickly on that. He faked and allowed himself to get fouled. He's only a 54% free throw shooter. Better off going up right away, huh?
Exactly. Make the basket. You don't have to earn it from 15 feet away. And that's exactly what you were talking about with the miss. He shoots better from the field than he does the free throw line.
He's a worker, though. Got here at practice this afternoon. He was here before anybody else was here, working on it.
Panthers have the first lead of the game. We're just underway. A minute gone. Council on the drive. Nice feed underneath. The basket is good by Dixon and a foul.
Last year, when Pittsburgh had Gary McGee, these kind of shots didn't normally go. Right here, the drive, the dish underneath. This is a block shot if McGee is still playing at Pittsburgh. They're a lot smaller on the interior this year than they have been in the past.
Foul goes on Trey Woodall. Chance for a three-point play for a guy you like very much. A freshman who completes the three-point play right there.
Three-quarter court trap right here. They're going to try to get you at the 10-second line with a trap if they can. Want to speed up the transition game. Back into zone this time. They were man-to-man on misses, zone on makes.
Nice drive by Robinson. Can't finish, though. Panthers continue to be one of the top rebounding teams in the country, but that hasn't solved their problem.
No, they're +6, but that does tell you they're trying. That's a kind of statistic. That's an effort statistic.
Cotton in front. Can't finish that time. Loose ball tracked down by Woodall. Council on the drive with a miss. Quickly back to the other end. Floating through and hitting the basket is Lamar Patterson.
Well, with Woodall playing, Patterson could go to his more natural small forward spot. When Woodall is not playing, everybody shifts up one. Gibbs has to play the point. Patterson has to play the two. Not that comfortable there.
First tie we've had tonight. Pass a little too hard to handle, but it's saved by the Friars. The inside feed. Kadeem bats. Shot clock is inside 10 as he turns. Misses the shot. Zana the rebound. That's what they're looking for. It is a 2.
Well, that's an example of Gibbs in transition, not having to handle the ball. He's at the scoring end instead of the delivering end. Positive for Pittsburgh.
Council on a drive. Comes up short. Loose ball. Picked up. Dixon tries to pass it inside. Not a good idea. 3-on-2 for Pitt. Robinson stops. That is a 3 that rattles out, but it's kept alive. That time by Patterson. He goes inside and draws the foul. Let's talk about the keys to this game tonight. Big East basketball game. First of all, for Ed Cooley's Providence Friars.
Well, they got to push the pace and make threes, and they're trying to do that in the person of Council and Cotton most often.
And now Bob's keys for the Pitt Panthers.
Well, work the boards, which they normally do. They're +6 on the year, and they must defend the perimeter. They're second to the last in the league in defending the three-point shot. Very, very vital statistic in college basketball.
Panthers right now with a 4-point edge. Long 3, bounced around, finally picked up by a guy off the bench for Pitt, John Johnson. And on the drive, a good finish that time by Robinson. Let's see if Ed Cooley calls a 30-second timeout right off the bat.
Good fast breaking right now by Pittsburgh. If you struggle in the half court, the antidote is push it up quickly and get a shot. Aggressive defense, eyes up, delivery. Well done. 3 guys touch the ball without a bounce. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. That's the way you finish a fast break.
And that's how you finish off a 7-0 run. The bad news for the Friars, they're 1 of 6 to start so far tonight. Well, the Panthers are up 6 with 16:34 to play.
In J.B. Dixon's last game against Louisville, I thought they played very, very well in the first half. They were aggressive. They were really after. Louisville was pressing them the entire time, kind of opened up the court. They were well prepared for that. But then in the second half, Louisville shot 70%, and the defense disappeared. They cannot have that against any team in this conference.
You're right. The Cardinals went 14 of 20 in the second half. That's scary. Council buries his first basket from outside. A guy that has upped his scoring about 3 points a game. But the guy that's really improved is Bryce Cotton, who went from 4 points a game to almost 15.
Well, and the reason for that is Marshawn Brooks is gone. He was the leading scorer in the league last year at 26 a game.
Johnson's 3 too strong. Rebound to Henton.
Notice how Council keeps his head up always when he's coming up the floor. He is a scorer and a passer, and you see how he stopped on a dime right there and went straight up. Very good body control.
The last 4 belong to the Friars after the Panthers had scored 7 straight. Gibbs off the screen, gives it back to Robinson. That's going to be an offensive foul.
You know, you think about Pittsburgh being 0-7 in the conference, and yet they have a very large crowd here in the middle of the week. Great support for this program.
Pitt's 6-point lead is down to 2 with 15:19 to play, and this is the 24th anniversary of a very well-known event at the old place, Fitzgerald Fieldhouse.
Send it in, Jerome!
And we will hear from Jerome Lane by phone at halftime talking about that event. It's interesting what he had to say, isn't it? Talking about people, the only thing they remember is him breaking the backboard. Jerome went on, like Charles Smith, to become a #1 draft pick in the NBA. Now coaching high school ball in Akron. Council. That time it was lost by Batts. And trying to get it back, the foul is called. Ron Gipley will pick up the personal foul as he comes off Ed Cooley's bench. You know, the one thing that Ed really likes about this team, he said they never quit, they play hard all the time. He said they may not have as much ability as some of these other teams, but that doesn't mean they're not out there battling.
They have enough ability to beat Louisville by 30.
That's right.
That's pretty good, huh?
Blocked out of bounds that time by Batts. So the Panthers will keep 23 on the shot clock, and we've played just over 5 minutes of the opening half.
Take it to the rack, challenge it. Big East basketball. And they beat Louisville by 30 points. That was the most bizarre score of the year so far in the conference.
Cameron Wright, #3, is checked into the lineup for the Panthers right now. Gibbs gets a screen. Shot clock inside 10. Patterson. Baseline jumper too strong, and Patterson kept it alive. Fresh clock for Pittsburgh.
I like Patterson as a small forward, don't you?
Yes.
He gets to go in the paint a little bit more. He's a physical kind of player.
A 3 on the way. That one is good. So Patterson with 7 early points hits the 3. He is a 40% three-point shooter, so he's not afraid to take that shot.
He takes quality shots only from three-point range. That's why his percentage is high. He deserves that. He had the hustle play on the board.
Council gets inside and finishes the shot. In addition to those 7 points, Patterson already with 3 rebounds.
3-guard lineup right now with Johnson in the game along with Gibbs and Wright.
Quick move to the baseline. That's too strong. On the weak side, the rebound saved and brought out of there by Hinton. Feeds Council. A little stop-and-go move, gets into the lane. Might have traveled. Up and under, no good. Rebound brought down by Pittsburgh's Cameron Wright. A long pass, but not finished that time by Ashton Gibbs. Here's Council. Gets inside, puts it up, bending short, tips it up and in.
Boy, I'll tell you, he stays after it, doesn't he? No wonder this kid averages 16 a game.
He's already got 8 here in the opening 7 minutes.
7 assists and 16. He accounts for a lot of the scoring on this team.
Patterson, that won't go, and it's an easy rebound for Hinton. That's the freshman you like, right? LaDontae Hinton?
Yes, Hinton is a nice player. Leading rebounder among the freshmen in the conference.
Cotton is off the mark. Wright will handle the rebound.
Last couple of possessions, Pittsburgh is shooting bricks. Their offense is working. They're getting open shots, but guys are just missing.
It'll be foul #1 on Vincent Council.
You know, you mentioned depth, and there are a number of players for Providence, Vincent Council among them, that play northward of 35 minutes a game.
That's right.
The problem for Ed Cooley is Providence is better when they are running, and when you're running, you're going to get more tired. So as a result, he's got a difficult situation with his substitution pattern.
That's a 3, and it's good. Good to have Woodall back. You mentioned he did not score in the Louisville game.
0 for 5. Said he was 100% in practice the last 2 days, but we were told by the sports information people here that they don't believe that to be the case. He's being optimistic.
Well, he just wants to play, right?
Yep.
Good feed and a finish. Hinton will get his first field goal. Dante Taylor just into the lineup, picks up his first foul. All of the Panther starters have scored, and I mentioned the fact that the 5 starters for Providence average about 34 minutes a game. That's a lot of basketball from your starting 5.
Three-quarter court trap again. So far, Pittsburgh has handled it well. They have a good ball handling team in the game right now with 3 guards.
And the Friars will tell you they don't have the depth to press hard for a full 40 minutes.
Right, and that was a soft press. You're right.
Up and under, but no good. Scramble for the rebound, and the Panthers are going to get it out of there, and then Taylor throws it away. Dante Taylor was looking for Johnson, threw it out of bounds instead. We've got an injured player as well. Robinson might have cut his lip. We'll be back. One-point lead for the Panthers, at one time up by 6, but a young man by the name of Vincent Council pretty much took care of that lead.
He's doing a lot of damage already. 8 points right here. Drives early in the game. The pull-up. Notice the balance. The drive in amongst the tree. Takes the body, takes the hit, jumps again. Tip in. He's got 8 points on 4 baskets. He's a big-time scorer, and you mentioned the minutes. Look at the bottom line here. Those first 4 players, north of 36 minutes a game. That is a lot of minutes.
Cotton and Council play more minutes than anybody else in the Big East.
Well, there's Vincent Council's first 2 seasons and what he's doing this year, as you would expect from a good player. And also with Marshawn Brooks gone, there's a lot of shots to be had. First possession of zone for Pitt. This is a rarity in the Jamie Dixon regime at Pittsburgh.
Coleman in the lineup, did not start tonight. Council from outside, that's an air ball. Robinson, who got hit by his own man, is back out there. So they've taken care of whatever the problem was with the lip.
Dante Taylor hit him on that rebound. Moore, 44, is a guy who you can lob the ball to for Pittsburgh. He's a leaper.
Shot clock at 10. Robinson dishes underneath. Zana finishes.
The good thing about zone defense, John, is when you're running back on defense, you know where to go all the time. You don't have to follow your man. You run to a spot.
Cotton from outside. Scramble for the rebound. It goes out of bounds. It's going to belong to Pittsburgh. I think he bounced it off the head of Gipley that time. 2
possessions in a row, no scores. So I would expect that Jamie would stay in that zone. Ed Cooley trying to figure out a little patience for his team.
Nearing the midway point in the opening half, along with veteran analyst Bob Wenzel, I'm John Sanders. Glad to have you along tonight.
A lot of guys standing around right now, a little fatigue hitting.
Robinson spins, gets to the basket, misses the shot. The tip-up is good. That was more.
I told you he was a jumping jack, and he showed it right there. Notice that Council has not taken a shot in the last couple of possessions, and Providence is out of sync.
That's a three from Hinton, bending off, and the rebound to Gibbs.
Zone is working.
Panthers lead by 5. They've been up by as many as 6. Gibbs, fade away, bending no good. Robinson on the weak with the rebound.
They have been all over the glass. This looks like Pitt teams from long ago, like last year or the year before.
That's right.
Where they sent 4 to the offensive glass.
Well, it seems like long ago, but you've mentioned the absence of people like Brad Wanamaker, Gilbert Brown, and Gary McGee. Certainly some big losses for them.
No doubt about that. Interior defense by McGee, exterior defense and playmaking by Wanamaker, and scoring by Brown. So they lost a lot last year. And of course, Providence lost Marshawn Brooks, who was the leading scorer in the league. Interestingly enough, Providence has had 3, in the last 7 years, they've had 3 guys lead the league in scoring. Marshawn Brooks, and then they had Herbert Hill, remember him?
Yes, I do.
19 a game. And then Ryan Gomes averaged 23 a game his senior year. So
the only problem with that, Bob, it hasn't led to that many wins.
They haven't been in the upper echelon. That's
why
sure.
Tim Welsh is no longer the coach of the Friars. Nice pass. Zana wasn't even looking for the ball, and there it was. Second 8-0 run by Pittsburgh. Zana with his second field goal.
And who made that pass?
Yep.
Woodall, right? The value of a point guard who can pass. They spurted while they were in zone and crashed the boards.
So they'll stay in that zone defense, and now up the lead to 9. Shot clock at 10. And the putback is not going to go. There's a nice tip with the left hand that time by Hinton.
Providence normally a pretty good three-point shooting team. They have not made one so far in the game.
8 minutes left in the opening half.
Inside has been the answer. Last 6 or 7 possessions. There it is again.
But that time Zana could not hang on. Here comes Council. Dumps it down, fade away, good. The first for Kadeem Batts tonight off a feed by you-know-who, Vincent Council.
If I'm Ed Cooley, I'm comfortable when Council has the ball in his hands.
Zana's turnaround, too strong. Pulled down, brought out of there by Hinton. Council feeds Cotton, gets it back. He's going to shoot a 3.
Big time rebound. Wow.
Fighting it up for the 3rd time is Hinton. He's got 7 points. Well, he never gave up on that ball.
Yeah, he really didn't. You can see why he's one of the better freshmen in the conference. Getting a lot of minutes. Stick-to-itiveness on the offensive board for Hinton. He positions himself well where the miss is going to be, weak side. Powers up and continues to play hard, goes right through the defense into the basket. LaDante, nice positioning. This is not only aggressive, but it's just smart as well.
Reminds me a little bit of Kevin Jones, the way he can rebound, at least in that situation. He is the top rebounder among freshmen in the Big East Conference.
Indeed he is, and he's getting a lot of minutes to do that with. He plays both the 4 and the 3 for this team. Freshman from Lansing, Michigan. Those are the minute leaders you've talked about. Number 1, number 2, and number 7 in the conference. I'm not sure that's a good thing.
Well, one of the problems for the Friars has been a strong first half. They'll battle some of the good teams, trailed Syracuse by 2 at halftime. But in the second half, things seem to change for them. We'll see what happens here tonight. Woodall for 3.
Fatigue's a factor. And having a good guard back is a factor also. Woodall played the first 7 games. Then he missed 6 games, played a few minutes against Notre Dame, missed 5 more games, and then played 21 minutes against Syracuse. The guy's been out for 2 months.
Council gets inside, rolling off, no good. Rebound by Zana. Three on the way, that's short. Rebound saved by Robinson, goes to the left hand and scores.
I think you're seeing those minutes right now, not the second half. Nobody jumping on the defensive board at all for the Friars.
Inside 6 left in the half. The Panther lead is back to 8.
Cotton has to get going. 27, 26 in 2 out of his last 3 games. And not a factor in this game at all.
Hinton saves it, gets along the baseline, does not get the roll, and the Panthers have the rebound as Lamar Patterson saved it. Robinson with a move and rolls home.
He's a close to the basket player at only 6'5". Aggressive nature. Nasir doing a good job in this one.
He's got 8 points. The Panthers are up 10. Pittsburgh, too, has gone back to its man-to-man defense. It's tipped out of bounds. It'll take us to a timeout with 5:03 remaining in the opening half. Robinson starting to heat it up a little bit thanks to his play and a nifty move here. It's the Panthers by 10. Panthers have their biggest lead at the half, and at least apparently healthy, and a nice return for Trey Woodall. He's been a factor here in this opening half.
Well, he's the X factor in the game. We talked about it early in the game. The assist to Gibbs frees Gibbs up. He has made 2 threes. He's 2 for 2 from 3-point range. He's got 6 points in the game. He's got 4 assists, and he has 0 turnovers. You talk about a guy who makes an impact on a team that is struggling. John, until tonight, Woodall hadn't scored a point for Pittsburgh since 11:30 of last year against Duquesne.
Wow.
November 30th. It's a long time for a basketball player to not have scored a point, huh? All those games he missed?
Yeah, the other thing you touched on, he was out for basically a month. It's tough to just come back and start playing right away.
No doubt about it.
Double figures now for Vincent Council.
Have you noticed that Council prefers going to his left?
I have noticed that.
It would be wise to push him the other way.
Back into the hands of Trey Woodall. Patterson, shot clock at 5. He'll launch a three. Here comes Council back the other way for Providence. Steps down the lane, draws a foul.
Hard to guard a guy this good in transition. Gives you the hip one way, goes the other way. A lot of contact by a number of guys there.
The foul goes on Woodall, who'll pick up his second.
You know, with Woodall, of course, his fitness level is going to be way down after having sit out that much time. So he's playing in spurts, and right now he comes out, but he's been in and out of the game, and he's done a very, very good job so far. Johnson replaces him.
Council hits both at the free throw line. Give him a dozen points for the junior from Brooklyn, New York.
Amazing, huh? Guy is a scoring machine. Cotton is 0 for 3 so far in the game. 0 points for their second leading scorer.
Quick turnaround by Ashton Gibbs.
That's his game. Catch and shoot. Set a screen for me, partner. I can make these.
Council with a dozen. The rest of his team has a dozen. Pittsburgh leads it 32-24. A hold is going to be called, I believe, on Ashton Gibbs.
Yep.
That'll be his first. The Panthers lead it 32-24. Big East basketball back after this. .339 to play in the half. It is 32-24. And speaking of 24, it was 24 years ago tonight. Sean Miller setting up Jerome Lane. And we'll be talking to Jerome at halftime. All of that coming up. We'll check out the Big East Player and Rookie of the Week. They both come from the same school this week.
Absolutely, and take a look at those banners. What a great 10-year run this program has had. There's no doubt about that.
Well, you go back to February of '09. The Panthers are ranked #1 in the country, and they lost to PC. Foul will go on Robinson. That's number 2. We have not mentioned the officials, which is not a bad thing. But we've got some veterans here. Eddie Corbett, Tim Higgins, and James Breeding are the 3 officials who called the game. And both Corbett and Higgins now will double team Jamie Dixon.
Well, when you double team somebody, you got to take a step off so you don't foul them. So they did a nice job right there. Well, that's the first smile we've seen on Jamie Dixon's face in a long time, that's for sure.
Well, he hasn't had a lot to smile about.
Nope. LaDante, one of the best freshmen in the league at the free throw line.
And he has 8 points so far this evening, trying to cut into that Panther lead.
Good rebounder for his size. You think of Andre Drummond of Connecticut in that group, Eli Carter of Rutgers, of course, and Mo Harkless and D'Angelo Harrison of St. John's, all having great freshman years. Anthony Collins at the University of South Florida, helping them to have a surprisingly good year this year.
A little less than 3.5 to play in the opening half. The Panthers lead it by 6, and we've got a foul underneath again, away from the ball. That's going to be on Vincent Council. That'll be his second.
Well, you know, one of the cardinal rules is you take a guy out with 2 fouls in the first half, but Cooley does not have that ability to do so this year because of their lack of depth. His guys have to learn how to play through those foul situations, and he needs Council on the floor for sure at this juncture.
Team fouls are even at 6 apiece. That means we will be shooting from here on in both ways. 3:20 left in the half. Shot clock at 10. Wide open 3 from the far side, too strong. Patterson has the rebound. Keeps it alive for Pittsburgh.
Patterson and Robinson doing a great job on the offensive glass.
Gibbs with his first 3 of the night. The senior from Scotts Plains, New Jersey, with 7.
A lot of credit goes to Patterson on that one. He kept that possession alive.
Foul on the drive. That will send Coleman to the line.
Coleman averages 14 a game, John, and really he didn't start in this game. You haven't called his name much. On the other hand, Gibbs has been very, very fine in this game. Thank you. Halfway to his average right now. Terrific pass right there. Notice how he squares up right here. He's got a great follow through on his jump shot.
He got a little screen that time, Bob, but he doesn't need much.
Nope. He needs just a hair, and he can get it off quickly.
One of 2, but the offensive rebound keeps it alive and then taken away by Moore. 2:20 left in the half. Panthers have led most of this half, up by as many as 10. Gibbs baseline, no place to go, finds Moore.
The zone defense by Pittsburgh got them the cushion. Then they went back to their staple, which is man-to-man.
Again, the shot clock at 10. Gibbs from outside. Another 3 for Ashton Gibbs. Double figures now with 10. He's got 2 3-pointers. Woodall also has 2 3-pointers.
There's a reason that Mr. Gibbs was voted in the top 5 players coming in, preseason players of the year.
Here's Council. Stops and pops. Got it. He can score, can he?
No doubt about that. And unlike Gibbs, Council uses the dribble to score. He does not move without the ball. He always has it in his hands. Gibbs, much more of a guy who plays without the ball better.
38-29. Panthers on top. Gibbs. Patterson will give it back to him.
Wise by Patterson. You mentioned he's a good percentage shooter from 3. The reason is he doesn't take any forced ones from there.
How about that forced one? He rattles it home. Ashton Gibbs with 13 points. And the Panthers come away with it. Gibbs has scored the last 11 for Pittsburgh.
Feeling it
again.
Feeling it! He's feeling it!
I'd say so.
Panthers. No expression on the face, John.
That's what he's supposed to do, right?
Ice cold.
He's a shooter and a scorer, and he has drilled his last 4 3-pointers, a bump foul on Zana. That'll be his first. Back into the lineup for the Friars comes Belial Dixon, who started tonight.
Ashton Gibbs is on fire. We've seen that. Knocking in threes from almost out of bounds. Keep in mind, he has shot 29% from three-point range in Big East games this year. And he is making them in this game.
Great first half for Vincent Council. He's got 16 points. Gibbs with 4 3-pointers here in the opening half to match the total of Council at 16 apiece. Isn't it interesting that we talked about those two guys right at the beginning of the game?
And they're big scorers, and they're really doing a great job, and they're doing it differently. That's what I find interesting. Council always with the ball, handling it. Gibbs moving without the ball. Doesn't use the dribble to create shots for himself. Council does. Different styles.
Final 15 of the opening half. Woodall loses it. And then they throw it right back to Taylor. He'll shoot. And we'll go to the free throw line with 1.9 to play in the half. Second foul on Dixon. And Taylor will go to the foul line. Only a 55% shooter, so like the other big guy, you hope they make that little shot. I mean, you don't have to get 2 at the line.
Exactly. That was an errant outlet pass. Pittsburgh very fortunate. Pittsburgh will also have the ball to start the second half. Looked pretty good on that one.
Well, the Panthers have only missed 1 free throw so far. Woodall back to the bench as John Johnson returns.
Well, that's good news, because in Louisville they only took 1 free throw, or 6 free throws in the entire game. I think 1 in the first half.
Taylor hits a pair. Back to the 15-point lead. Panthers in the last 6 minutes of this game have been on a 23-11 run. And now they'll bring some pressure.
This is the Valparaiso or Duke play where you throw long and then tip it to someone like that.
Instead, it's almost thrown away, and the Panthers will head to the locker room with their biggest lead of the night, 46-31. Pitt is on top, and the main reason they've got that huge lead for Jamie Dixon is number 12.
He's been hot from three-point range. He's made 4 of them. They are finding him, and he is feeling it. When you get in the zone, you can measure him from deep, deep, deep.
Welcome to the ESPN3 Halftime Report. I'm Cassidy Hubbard. Coming up, we'll join ESPN Buzzer Beater in progress to keep you up to date with all the action going on around college basketball. Buzzer Beater features unlimited live cut-ins, highlights, and analysis from the biggest matchups throughout the day. But first, let's take a look at tomorrow's schedule of games across the ESPN family of networks. Number 8, North Carolina has an ACC clash with NC State at 7 Eastern. 13th ranked Florida travels to Mississippi to take on the Rebels. Iowa hosts Nebraska for the first time in the Big Ten. And elsewhere, a big top 25 conference matchup at 9 Eastern as 17th ranked Indiana travels to Madison to take on number 25 Wisconsin. And 21st ranked Virginia tries to bounce back from their loss to Virginia Tech, hosting Boston College at 9 Eastern. All these games can be seen on the ESPN family of networks. All right, let's get you updated with everything that's going on tonight and join ESPN Buzzer Beater in progress. Just a reminder that ESPN Buzzer Beater is available to Time Warner, Bright House Networks, Verizon Fios TV subscribers via the Watch ESPN app, and coming soon to Comcast Xfinity TV customers. Enjoy.
Offensive it.
It's an off the Darrell Eddie from 3.
one of the things we talked about earlier, Walter. It was very important to get Jarrell Eddie going. He's starting to feel it. Hudson hits a big three, and now they have the outside working with the inside, and here come the Hokies.
Less than a minute to play, and quieting the crowd underneath is Noah Hartside. Right on cue, just what his team needed him to do. Try and quell some of this Virginia Tech momentum. So the Hokies have the ball with 40 to go. They will have to take a shot before the end of the half.
It's important to be patient here, Walter. Get a good shot here before the shot clock runs out. They got to do a dribble drive. They got to try and attack the middle and see if they can go up the three-point shot.
From outside, not the shot they wanted as Eddie airballed it. Brendan Young brings it back the other direction, and they'll be the ones who can hold for the last shot. Virginia Tech has cut the lead to 4. Carlino will try a three-pointer. Can't get it to go, and the ball goes out of bounds. BYU can't get the bucket to go as it goes out of bounds. Now they'll bring back in Craig Cusick for his defensive specialties to guard the inbounds pass with 4.8 seconds to go. And Virginia Tech wants to think about it, so Seth Greenberg's going to call a timeout for the Hokies. Again, 4.8 seconds on the clock. What do you draw up here?
I think what you draw up here is you're going to have to quickly get the ball up the floor. Basically, it's 1 bounce per second, so they only got a couple of seconds to get the ball up the floor, and then to be able to try and kick it out maybe for a three-point shot if down low is not open right away.
Here's a look at that Dorenzo Hudson outside shot.
He's had some nice results down low and hits a big shot on three-point line.
And then outside to Eddie, able to hit another one for the Hokies. So some big buckets right near the end of the stretch of this first half of the Hokies. All of a sudden you look at the score and you say, hey, this hasn't been that bad of a half.
Not that bad of a half. It shows you defense has been very important on both ends. Terrell Eddie got that three. It's important for him to get more. At being a 50+% three-point shooter, he needs to get more involved and get some quality shots.
We talked about how important the three-point shooting for BYU would be in this game because Virginia Tech is so good at defending it. Right now, BYU 1 of 8 from beyond the arc. 4.8 seconds to go. Here come the Hokies at the end of the half. Hudson trying to get inside. Time almost out. Eddie gets it off and does not get it to fall as it hung on his fingertips right at the last.
BYU and Virginia Tech meeting for the first time since 1967. Meanwhile, Florida State and Wake Forest. Could it be that the Seminoles have gone from the hunters to the hunted, considering who they've beaten so far in the schedule?
Oh, it's definitely a bullseye on their back now since the big upset against North Carolina and Duke. But right now, they are shutting down Travis McKay, who only has 2 points for Wake.
They're going into the half. Florida State up 29-23. Or are they going into the half? Under a second remaining in that contest. Let's listen in and see what's going on there.
Shot clock, and I think there's going to be a second and a half when they resume after what was a shot clock violation. It did not touch iron there.
Touches there.
It touches there. Now, did the buzzer sound?
No, it should have been a reset of the shot clock.
And so on tape, it looks like it was not a shot clock violation. That the ball hit the back iron right before the shot clock buzzer. And that's what's being discussed right now.
I think at this point that Jeff Bezdelik would just as soon take a knee and head into the locker room.
Down by 6 to number 23 Florida State in a first half where his team has not shot the ball well and has turned it over 11 times. So what are they going to do here? They're going to give Wake Forest the ball, but they're not putting any time on the clock. But it's announced as a shot clock violation.
That's essentially taking a knee.
All right.
So
I get that.
But you know what? If I'm Jeff Bezdelik, you go in, you say, you know, we did not nearly play as well as.
All right, moving on. Missouri and Oklahoma State. Tigers trailing by 1.
Nash puts it on the floor. And they get it with a travel. It's our under 8 media timeout. The Cowboys at home and lead it by a point.
All right, number 2 in the country, the Tigers of Missouri down by 1 in Oklahoma, or should I say Stillwater, where they lost last year. Meanwhile, checking out some other scores from around college basketball. Ohio State all over Penn State, 51-29. That's kind of to be expected. The Ohio State 5-2 in conference play, and the Nittany Lions struggling overall. Villanova and Louisville, we'll talk about that in just a moment. Meanwhile, Providence and Pittsburgh, finally some good feelings in the Steel City about that Panther ball club, up 46-31. All right, said we would talk about it. Now it's time to show you the moving pictures from the first half. We're talking about Louisville, number 25 in the country, taking on Nova. And early on, how about Chris Smith knocking down the 3? And Nova offense, Marcus Kennedy driving, and Nova looking for their 3rd straight win.
Absolutely. Another freshman there, Kennedy, going to the basket for this young Nova team. And they're really getting better and better as the season goes on.
In transition, that was Muftau Yaru. They are at the half. And Villanova with a 5-point advantage at the Yum Center. And you have to say it that way, the Yum Center in Louisville. So when we talk about that game, you talked about the young talent for the Wildcats. Obviously, not the best team that Jay Wright has had. Talk about the obstacles of getting them to where he wants them to be.
Well, Jay Wright loves the defense, especially with a young team. I had 2 of their games early in the year against LaSalle and Delaware, and this team struggled on the defensive end. But, Don, this young team is getting better. Malik Waynes is starting to get everybody involved. And watch out, Villanova, as they go on, they can upset some teams in the Big East.
All right, let's talk more about it and show you some statistical evidence about what we're talking about here when talking about those Villanova Wildcats and, of course, the Louisville Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals, they started the season 12-1. Everybody's like, oh, look, Rick Pitino, he's done it again. Conference play. Ouch, babe, some issues. 3-4 in conference play, so they need this game at home against Villanova. Just talk about what you see in the Cardinals, the difference between their conference play and non-conference play.
For one, for Villanova, you know, a young team, but Louisville, a team that was supposed to be a veteran team, a lot of injuries. Louisville has struggled at home by defending their home turf. You got to win your home games and then kind of steal a few on the road. But Georgetown came in there early in the year, upset Louisville, and got them off to a bad start.
Yeah, they brought the fight in that game. Meanwhile, here on Buzzer Beater, of course, our objective is to take you all over the country to the latest and greatest action, and we continue to do that here as the night progresses. Right now, number 2 Missouri in a dogfight with Oklahoma State. Ricardo Ratliff is the man for them down low. How good is he?
A guy, you're talking about a guy that's shooting 70% from the floor? I mean, how good is he? Go into Ratliff, man. But the Missouri Tigers averaging 82 points a game, and first in field goal percentage and shooting threes and into Ratliff. This team is very dangerous, either at home or on the road.
And right now they are on the road and trailing. Let's see if the Tigers can stick with it, as they are now number 2 in the country.
And by the time that they did, you were being reactive rather than being proactive in your help side defense. Nice job by Williams.
Williams, a freshman out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's been interesting watching this team because early on, Williams wasn't playing very much. Last 8 games, the minutes have been huge, and he continues to get more and more opportunities. In fact, he started every conference game. Denman.
Quick strike offense and make things maybe a little bit simple. When you're struggling a little bit, just simplify your offensive approach, set a weak side screen, find a shooter, and knock it down, especially when you have a team that can shoot the ball as well as Missouri.
Brown lost the handle momentarily. This crossover, Williams.
the ball screen action continues to leave wide open spaces in the middle of the floor. Missouri has got to make an adjustment in the way that they're covering the on-ball screen. If you're going to hard hedge, you can't allow a space for the player to slip through in your recovery back to the man that you were originally guarding.
Denman, shot clock now at 7. Matt Pressey drills one. Matt Pressey, 7 points. He averages 8. Wednesday Night Hoops presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups here in Stillwater, the number 2 team in the country. The Missouri Tigers down a point. 5.5 to go here first half. John Schaube, Sean Farnham with, oh, nice block, Steve Moore.
We hope you enjoy the fast action coverage from ESPN Buzzer Beater. A reminder that ESPN Buzzer Beater is available to Time Warner, Bright House Networks, Verizon Fios TV subscribers, via the Watch ESPN app, and coming soon to Comcast Xfinity TV customers. We'll be bringing you this service on Wednesdays and Saturdays throughout the college basketball season. That's a wrap on the ESPN3 Halftime Report. I'm Cassidy Hubbard. Enjoy the second half.
Mississippi State, they're home for LSU. That game about to get underway. Halftime on ESPN. Number 25, Louisville trailing Villanova 44-39. James Bell, 11 points, 9 rebounds at the break. NBA, the Miami Heat playing a 6th straight game without Dwayne Wade due to a sprained ankle, but Chris Bosh is filling in tonight with the big numbers again in Detroit. 13 points on 6 of 6 shooting. And it's the Heat 22, the Pistons 15. They are late in the first quarter. Nearing halftime, Philadelphia leads New Jersey 43-41. The Knicks now lead in Cleveland 40-36. Washington in front of Charlotte 44-23. 3 games about to get underway. The Pacers in Chicago. Indiana off to an impressive 11-5 start. They're trailing Chicago in the Central Division. Bulls the best record in the NBA at 16-3. New Orleans is at Oklahoma City. Milwaukee and the red-hot Houston Rockets have won 7 straight. About to get underway. Lakers and Clippers later. Chris Paul on the Staples Center floor shooting at this hour. No official word yet on his status, having missed 5 straight games. With a hamstring injury, Timberwolves and Kevin Love have a 4-year contract extension signed worth a reported $62 million. NHL All-Star break begins after tonight's Red Wings-Canadiens game in Montreal. In the first period, the Habs have a 2-0 advantage.
Join Mike and Mike, the Herd with Colin Cowherd and the Scott Van Pelt Show live from Indianapolis for Super Week 2012. Big name guests, the top analysts, and of course plenty of predictions. It all begins Monday on ESPN Radio and ESPNRadio.com. Hill and Schlereth on ESPN Radio
and ESPNRadio.com.
Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Special birthday edition of Hill and Schlereth on ESPN Radio and ESPNRadio.com, presented by Progressive Insurance. My partner, my man, Stink. Happy 46th birthday, my man.
Thank you. Making people mad, too, all over America.
Yeah, you know, we'll get to that in a second. But first, I want to give a shout-out to our crew, Courtney, Sean, Kareem. Courtney went out, and we got you, because you don't want the birthday cake, because you don't want to be into the sweets and things like that. So she went out and got you a fruit cake, in a sense. And it's really a fruit cake because it's fruit and not cake. And a little candle inside of an apple. It's actual fruit. And if you want to see the picture of what we just took, Sean, did you put it on Twitter already?
Little halftime feast. It's 46-31. Panthers will have the ball as we start the second half of play. Missing in action for the Friars, though, here. And they've got about 20 of their boosters on this trip. They're missing the play of Bryce Cotton. He just has not been there.
Well, Cotton and Coleman, together they average 28 a game. They have 1 point between them in this game so far. That's why they are down 15.
Robinson waited, finally took the shot. This is Bryce Cotton. Council to the left hand, bending home.
He loves going that way. Well, now, if you watch that last shot by Nasir Robinson, you know why he doesn't take outside shots. That's one of the ugliest shots in the league. But, boy, he gets it done in the paint.
Both teams going with their original starting lineups. It's Robinson, Patterson, Zana, Woodall, and Gibbs for Pitt. Betts, Kent, Council, and Fofani. Well, Woodall gets the basket.
Pitt is now 8 for 13 from three-point range, and that is very, very good news for them. That's been uncommon for them this year.
Council passed it, but it went off the foot and out of bounds that time as Zana stuck out his foot. We talked a lot about this twosome, and they are not disappointing. Council with 18, including one basket here in the second half. You look at Pitt now, 7 of those three-pointers between Woodall and Gibbs. So the guys in the backcourt have come through.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's how preseason everybody picked them near the top with that in mind.
Baseline jumper bending off. Rebound on the weak side and a foul. Dixon, who started, was there for the follow. The foul is on Patterson.
Well, Belial has been around for a while. 6'9", 250 at the free throw line. He is a big, big guy, and this is his 4th year. Redshirted that 1 year, but he's been around a while. When he gets close to the basket, he's hard to move.
Two of 2 so far at the free throw line for Belial Dixon, the redshirt junior, out of Jersey City, New Jersey. Some pretty good players came out of there, didn't they?
Absolutely.
Wait.
On the drive, comes up short, gets his own rebound. Patterson was wide open, decided not to shoot. Instead, it's Ashton Gibbs.
Patterson is a smart player. In this game, he's played very smart. He's gotten a lot of offensive rebounds and maintained possession for his team.
You can see that shot clock winding down. Good feed to Zana. He hits the deck and draws the foul.
That's the second time in this game that Zana should, in my opinion, just go straight up to the basket. He's catching the ball. Watch him here on this. He catches it, and he waits for the defense. He fakes when nobody's there. I guess it comes with experience. You know, he just doesn't have a feel for when people are near him and when they're not.
And meantime, that foul was on Vincent Council, and that's 3 on him. Zana with 6 points so far. Out of Nigeria. Went to high school in Maryland, and he hits 2. He's been kind of a role player so far in his career, Bob, so that's changed for him.
Well, with big guys gone, he's getting an opportunity this year. Trying to make the most out of it. He's a worker.
Goes on Batts, his first. That's trying to set the screen, didn't work out, so back the other way comes Trey Woodall.
Boy, what a pleasant surprise. Not surprise, but what a pleasant thing for Pittsburgh that Woodall is playing. We talked all about how he hasn't played much this year. 6 points, 4 assists, 1 turnover.
Gibbs a little strong. Zana missed the follow. That might have been his easiest shot of the night. Yeah. It didn't go. Here comes Council. He's held up and fouled.
Ashton was a little too close to the basket on that one. You know,
yeah,
he needs
you're
to
right.
be beyond the three-point line, right?
That's his second foul.
The other guy that's knocking threes in the league is Fitzpatrick from Kilpatrick from Cincinnati. He's got the most makes in the league this year, and one he made against Connecticut won the game at the buzzer.
They have been one of the surprisingly good stories in the Big East this year. Council gets it back, goes baseline, and laying it home after he picked it up. Dixon with 7 points. Zana a little slow to get up.
The drive, the dish, just came down by himself on his team, looked like. Ashton moving without the ball. He's going to get 2 single screens on the baseline.
The reverse won't go. Held ball, will give it back to the Friars. At that time it was Dixon and Zana who got tied up. First-year coach, Ed Cooley, waiting for some pretty good players to come in. They've got a point guard who didn't qualify academically this year, Kiwi Gardner, who will be eligible next year. They've got Chris Dunn coming in from Connecticut, Ricky Leto. Leto is a good one from Providence, and Josh Fortune from Hampton, Virginia. Inside bending, good. 20-point night for Council. So he adds to his plus 1,000 career points.
Danger area right now for Pittsburgh. Energy is in the legs of the Providence Friars. Pitt's got it inside and has not gotten a good shot when they got it inside.
That's a 3.
That's the answer.
All of Trey Woodall's points tonight coming on three-pointers. He's got a dozen. The Panthers are 9 of 14 shooting the threes. We have 16-12 to play here in the half.
Difference maker, Mr. Woodall. Welcome back.
The two teams have played even here in the second half. This is Big East basketball presented by PNC. And let's check out our Big East leaders brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you.
Well, Jordan Theodore and Vincent Council are at the head of the pack. There's no doubt about that. That's a lot of assists per game. Shabazz Napier, Peyton Seaver of Louisville. But these two guys, it's fun to watch Council, isn't it?
It is. He plays a lot like Seaver.
Yep.
Seaver loves to drive with the basketball. And somehow he's able to wiggle down the lane. He did it against Pitt here on Saturday night. Council for 3. Patterson tracks it down for Pitt. Back come the Panthers. Wide open. Robinson with the finish. He's in double figures with 10.
Well, the difference in the game from the scoring viewpoint, of course, is the three-point shot. Providence hasn't made one. They're 0 for 8 in the game. Pitt's done a great job on Cotton, who's their chief guy from deep.
That's a 3. That's short. And the rebound by Robinson, who got tangled up that time with Brees Kofani. Patterson for 3. Council all the way down. count the basket.
That's 22 points for Vincent Council in this game.
It is the third foul on Trey Woodall. It's 56-41 Pitt. Almost 5 minutes gone in the second half. The Panthers out in front, 56-41. Big East basketball tonight, a real battle between the Wildcats and the Cardinals. DePaul and Rutgers going at it at the rack. West Virginia is losing at St. John's big in the second half.
That is big time shocking.
And Notre Dame at Seton Hall just getting underway. Other scores. Oklahoma State has the halftime lead over Mizzou. Ohio State beating Penn State. Creighton up on Drake. LSU, Mississippi State just getting going. Michigan State hosting Minnesota. Those other games coming up later. Council to the line.
Well, he's got 23 right now. That's big numbers. He's starting to do the Marshawn Brooks imitation when he had 52 against Notre Dame last year. Former Providence Friar. I got to tell you, Woodall is really making a difference in this team. I mean, it's dramatic. 0 for 5 against Louisville the other day, right? In coming back after not having played forever. And he's 4 for 4 in this game. 4 assists, 1 turnover, 12 points.
Nice move by Robinson, who's got a dozen. Now, you talked about Vincent Council. His season high is 24, and he's got 23 already. He's got 14 and a half minutes left to go. First basket of the game for Cotton. And when he scores in double figures, they usually win.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, Council had 15 points and 14 assists against Louisville. So that is evidence of his scoring and passing ability.
Johnson for 3. John Johnson.
What a difference. What a difference. 10 of 16 from downtown.
It has been a huge weapon for Pittsburgh here tonight as they open up a 17-point lead. Council in the lane. Gets it up and in. He just keeps going, doesn't he?
Well, he splits the defense, and he has a knack of sliding through where there's traffic and getting the ball up to the rim some way. He's one of those guys that you have to foul hard when he's close in and make him go to the free throw line and avoid these three-point play opportunities.
He misses that chance at the line. that does have a season high, and now the Panthers turn it over. Council on a drive, puts it up, missed the shot. Rebound, and count the basket.
Well, Hinton got after it on that one.
The foul will go on Dante Taylor, taking the spot of Nasir Robinson, who left with 3 fouls.
Careless ball handling that time led to the turnover. Jamie feels that it was a travel, obviously. The visual signal for a travel. You know, the thing with Pittsburgh is they've lost 8 games in a row, and right now they got this big lead. And the lead is starting to dwindle, and they're not used to being ahead like in the past.
That's true.
In the past, they're always used to being ahead. So they've got to guard against complacency, as odd as that might sound in a game like this.
Oh, what a big night so far for Hinton. Gibbs, another 3-pointer for Ashley. He's got 19 on the night. That is 5 3-pointers. 11 for the Panthers.
Wow, out of 17.
Hinton, we mentioned 12 points, 8 rebounds. So he could be on his way to a double-double. All Panthers on the break. 4-on-2, scooping and scoring is Johnson.
You know, Johnson's playing better when he knows Woodall is also playing in the game. It doesn't put as much pressure on him. He can play freer.
Line drive hook won't go. Gibbs, nice catch, quick shot, too strong, tipped up once. Taylor had it, lost it. Here comes Providence. Council on the drive will go to the line. Foul is on Johnson. It'll put Council back at the free throw line. Attention golfers and club pros, online registration is now open for the 2012 ESPN National Golf Challenge. Log on to espngolf.com to sign up and find a participating course near you. Still 12.5 to play, and that's 6 fouls on Pittsburgh already in the second half. Another miss, the second by Council.
Gibbs has had quite a night in this game so far. His shooting is back. He's comfortable. You can see that in his gait out on the floor. And it's all because of Woodall being back and playing, certainly not at full strength, but making a big difference.
Woodall on the drive has it blocked. The breakout for Cotney jams it home. Just his second basket of the night, makes it 66-52.
They were up 15 at halftime, so they're maintaining almost that lead right here, despite the fact that Council's going crazy out here.
He only has 26 points.
4 games in the 30s so far this year by individuals in the league. Wayans had 39, Truck Bryant 34, Harkless 32, and Jason Clark 31. So those 4 players were in the 30s. I got a feeling that Council's going to get there in this one.
So the 3-pointer has been the favorite and the friend of the Panthers tonight. They've got the lead at home, 66-52. 11:24 to play in the second half. The Panthers' lead is 14. It's been as many as 17 tonight. But I tell you, one reason they're winning is Trey Woodall's return big time.
No doubt about it. He's 4 of 5 from the field. He's made 4 threes in the game. He's got 5 assists. He's only turned the ball over 1 time. He's playing superbly, and it's allowing his teammates to play better. This is in stark contrast to the game they just played against Louisville, where he played 21 minutes, was 0 for 5, and had no points. So welcome back, Trey Woodall. Pittsburgh has missed you a great deal. Things are starting to look brighter.
Cotton to the line. He's a good free throw shooter, and this is his first chance at the foul line tonight.
89% on the year, John.
So Gibbs back in as Johnson sits down for the Panthers, who have led through most of the night.
I thought Johnson did a nice job when he was there, don't you?
Yes.
I mean, he made shots, he handled the basketball, didn't make mistakes. You know, I mean, he can be a valuable guy as that third guard to when Woodall is resting or when Gibbs is resting.
Some minutes tonight for Cameron Wright. They're trying to set the screen inside. It'll be foul number 3 on Taylor. So Zana, who left with 3 fouls. No, he didn't leave with 3 fouls. Taylor leaves with 3 fouls as Zana is back on. It was Nasir Robinson who had to sit down with 3 fouls.
Right. And he's the most active guy on the glass for this team.
Cotton for 3. That's what they've been waiting for. It's his first tonight, gives him 9 points on the evening. You mentioned he didn't score at all in the first half.
Yep. The average is 15. That's their first 3, right?
Right. They're just 1 of 10 shooting threes. Cotton has scored the last 7 for the Friars. Nice spin move, but he's not able to finish. There to tap it back in is Elliot Zana.
Zana has a lot better hops than Dante Taylor. Taylor looked a little slow out there to me. Wasn't changing ends.
We are midway through the second half. Council takes it all the way in, then dumps it out. They turn it over. Woodall back the other way. Lays it home. That is his first non-3-point basket.
And that's significant, John, because his injury is a groin and stomach injury. This is the kind of play where he might be shy going to the basket. You know, protected a little bit, but not so. Takes it hard, protects the ball. That's a good sign.
Here's the scramble again. You can see him break up the left wing. He beats Cotton to the basket, finishes the shot.
Good acceleration.
70-57. You know, the Friars keep trying to creep back in this game, but Bob, every time they do, the Panthers have had the answer.
Yes, and that's a very good sign for a team that's lost 8 games in a row to be able to react that way. They've had good balance in the game. Gibbs 19, Woodall 14. Nasir has 12. So what you would expect entering the year, that Gibbs and Woodall were going to be the main men for this team and leading them. They haven't had that opportunity except for the first few games of the year. And now, with him back, let's hope that after this game he has no ill effects for his sake and for Pittsburgh's sake.
And the last time the Panthers won, it was here against St. Francis back on December the 20th.
Wow.
So it's been a month. Council got inside, but not able to finish. The follow there won't go. Back the other way quickly comes Cameron Wright. He'll take it in and have it blocked out of bounds by Cotton. Along with Bob Wenzel, I'm John Sanders. Great to have you with us for Big East Basketball, presented by PNC. Good block, huh?
Absolutely. That's what you want to do, Mr. Cotton. From Providence's standpoint, you know, it's been they try to get close, but they can't get defensive stops. And there you see the kind of runs for both teams that have happened in this game.
Here's Cotton ahead of Woodall. He returns the favor, and he's got double figures now with 11.
But now here's where they have to get a stop, and they haven't been able to do this in the last 5 or 6 times that this situation has presented itself.
Robinson, by the way, is set to check back in as Zana handles outside. Was that ball blocked? I think it was.
Yeah, Tim Higgins has it.
So it's still Pittsburgh basketball with 17 on the shot clock and just over 9 to play in the second half. 70-59. Friars are trying to sneak back in it, Bob.
This is where they need to stop. And they get it.
They've got the break. A good finish that time by Coleman. His first field goal of the night.
What a pass by Council. That was unbelievable. 3/4 court pass right on the money. Jim Brady would be proud. Look at this, right over the guy's head, only where his guy can catch it. Nice finish. This is a thing of beauty. You can see why he is one of the best assist guys in the league.
Well, we talked a little bit about the fact that they have had a problem with fatigue in the second half of games, but we have not seen that so far tonight as they've cut that lead down to 70-61. So they're very much back in this basketball game.
It was 15 at half, and it's maintained 15-3 pretty much throughout the half. You can see the numbers improving for Girard over last year to this. You would expect that when a super-duper scorer like Marshawn Brooks leaves. There's a lot of shots to be had and shared by the group.
Got a quick look at Andre LaFleur, who is the associate head coach after spending about 10 years, I think, with UConn. And we talked about teams being in the doldrums. He said, remember last year UConn was 9-9, and they won the national championship. So.
Robinson back in gives them more energy.
Shot clock at 15. Woodall started the move and draws the foul.
Now the lineup that Jamie Dixon has in the game right now is a very interesting one. He hasn't had this a lot during the course of the year with his 2 normal starting guards, Robinson, Patterson, and Talib Zana. So this is a smallish team, but Robinson and Patterson are very aggressive rebounders for their size. They've got good ball handling. I think this is their best lineup.
Here's Patterson down the lane. Travel. That's 8 turnovers so far on the Panthers. Remember, they turned it over 19 times in the loss to Louisville here on Saturday.
Yep.
And this is a tough stretch for them, Bob. They'll play 3 games in the next 5 days. Got Georgetown here on Saturday. Then on Monday, they have to go to West Virginia.
At West Virginia. That's always tough.
Backdoor top.
Terrific play. What a great setup. Nice coaching, nice execution. Council to Cotton, a lob to the smallest guy on the floor. Providence is playing smart basketball right now.
They are down by 7 as Woodall is being bothered by Cotton.
Tons of time left.
Woodall tries to keep his dribble and does. Gibbs, it's not a 3, it's a 2.
Woodall handled the ball the entire time until Gibbs got open.
His previous 5 field goals had been 3-pointers. That's a 2.
We're seeing very good basketball right now, the last few possessions here. Smart, well-executed stuff. Pitt decides to go zone.
Kind of had the rebound, lost it. Instead, bringing it out was Patterson. And he'll be the recipient of the good pass and the good finish.
Remember now, in the first half, this is where they got their separation. They went to zone, and their lead improved dramatically. Jamie trying to do the same thing in the second half when the game gets close.
6:54 remaining in the game, 32 on the shot clock, and the Panthers back up to an 11-point lead at 74-63. Ed Cooley having an up-close and personal conversation with Tim Higgins.
Well, he wants to win too. You know, they're 1-6 in the league, and Pittsburgh is 0-7. I don't know what Cooley's doing right there. He sent somebody.
He's apparently coaching.
He took his egg. Oh, I see. He made it seem like Cotton was not even on the floor playing. He was standing over by the coach. Pittsburgh fell asleep.
He got some advice from Bob Simon there. Brian Blaney, George Blaney's son, is one of the assistant coaches for this team.
George, the associate at Connecticut.
That one won't go. Robinson with a rebound and then bangs it off the defender. Now they scramble for it. It'll be Pittsburgh basketball with 6:36 to go. It'll take us to a timeout. 74-63 Pitt. Four points belong to the Panthers. They lead by 11. We talked about the number of assists for Council coming in. He's got 6 tonight, and he's been terrific.
Well, he's passing prowess, I can tell you that. Take a look at this pass. He leads his man perfectly. NFL quarterbacks will be proud. And this one, he threads the needle, 3/4 of the court, no dribble involved, and an easy layup. 6 assists for Council in this game. That brings him to 140 on the year. He's averaging about 7 assists a game. This guy can really pass and really seize the floor. Terrific, terrific passer.
And now with 6.5 to play, Ed Cooley's going to bring up that defense and put some pressure on Pittsburgh.
Yep, good idea.
He walked.
Well, he moved when he was out of bounds in a situation where you're not allowed to move. On a violation or anything like that, you can't move. Only after a made basket or made free throw can you move from that spot.
Panthers have turned it over 10 times so far tonight. Cotton has come alive in the second half. He'll shoot another 3. Loose ball out of bounds. It belongs to Pitt.
Well, the pressure worked last time, and they're calling for it again. Jamie Dixon calling for his press breaker offense. He's got pretty good ball handling in there with Gibbs and Trayvon Wood all at the same time. Robinson can do a good job helping out in this area also. Providence decides to stay man-to-man here, which is a good idea. What they've got to do is rebound the shot, keep the white shirts off the glass.
Woodall down the lane. Dumps it off. The shot is no good, and the rebound pulled down by Coleman.
Opportunity knocking.
Council had it, lost it, got it back. The lead right now is 11.
Zone.
Brick from Bats. It's not a good combination. Zone followed by brick.
Well, that's why you do the zone, right? Because you know somebody's going to shoot a brick. If you're a good rebounding team, you can play zone. Nice.
Good look that time. Robinson has 14 points. And Ed Cooley's going to take a 30-second timeout with 5:17 to play. Tonight's Big East game is being produced and distributed by ESPN Regional Television Incorporated. Glad to have all of you along. Big East preseason poll. Pittsburgh picked number 4. Providence picked number 15. But a lot of the preseason stuff has gone by the board, hasn't it?
All of this is discombobulated right now, and here's where they are now today. Nice transition there, gentlemen, in the truck. So Providence and Pittsburgh near the bottom. We knew that coming into this game. But interestingly enough, it hasn't taken away from the intensity of the game at all. And in respect for Pittsburgh's program, it's a gigantic crowd here. For a team that's lost 7 straight in the league, they still support this squad very nicely.
Panthers had a 17-point lead with 13:02 to go. Providence got it down to 7 at the 8:02 mark. We now have 5:08 to go. Council hanging, missed the shot and the rebound of the Panthers. No, it's brought out of there by Council. Now Cotton on the drive. That won't go. Moore has the rebound. Woodall will slow it down. Panthers reset in half court. Robinson to Ashton Gibbs.
This takes a lot out of the defense when you run this many screens and ball movement. Takes a lot out of the offense also. But when you have the lead, that's not bad.
Takes a lot off that shot clock too. On the drive, that one won't go out of the hands of Woodall. Quickly back the other way, Council. That's going to be goaltending, so credit the basket to Coleman.
I hate to harp on this, but that's another great pass by Council. This is a difficult one. A bounce pass. It had to be, or else it would have been stolen. Ball's in the cylinder, so it's basket interference. Good call. The full court pressure has not yielded that many turnovers in the backcourt.
Well, the Friars have survived a 3.5-minute drought on the scoreboard.
The problem with milking the clock with this much time left, you take yourself out of the game frequently. You can't just run offense and then jack one up with 2 seconds to go. That's the kind of thing you need.
It's Taylor at the receiving end of that pass. Puts the basket in, extends it back to a 13-point lead. So basically, these two teams have played even in the second half.
Yeah. Nice assist again by Woodall. Woodall and Council, 2 nice passers we're seeing here.
Council, the no-look pass, and it was not handled by Henton that time. Might have tricked his own teammate on that one.
John, you mentioned fatigue and the number of minutes that most of the players from Providence play, northward of 35, 36 minutes. This is the juncture of that game where it takes its toll. You're behind, you need energy to stay with it defensively. Difficult job.
Woodall thought about 3, instead backs it away with 3 minutes to go in the game. Shot clock at 6, and a lane for Woodall.
I know whose picture's going to be on the front of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette tomorrow, and it's going to say, "Welcome back, Woodall."
Three-pointer from the corner is good by Cotton. That's his second three, and he's got 16 points. All Bob here in the second half.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure they're lamenting the fact that he was not involved in the first half at all.
Gibbs tries to answer Kent. Rebound pulled down by him. Back come the Friars. Cotton. A blocking foul called. Wow. Tonight's Big East game has been brought to you by PNC for the Achiever in you. Downtown Pittsburgh, that's the Roberto Clemente Bridge. It's 80 to 68. We were talking about minutes. Hinton has played 36 minutes. Cotton has played 38.
Well, Trayvon Woodall has played 21, and he's playing great. 9 assists in the game, 16 points. He is the Papa John's player of the game. His emergence and return to this lineup is the key headline for Pittsburgh basketball this year.
Obviously it is. Terrific numbers. Ashton Gibbs with 21 tonight. And the miss at the line. The Council's now 6 of 9 shooting foul shots. The Panthers are 2 minutes away. Woodall picks it off and then draws a foul. Grafani will pick up his first foul, the redshirt freshman.
He's yelling face guard, which means don't stand on the side of you, man. Stand right in front of him and not see the ball and then trap.
Second foul in a row on Brees Grafani. Taylor with a catch. Gibbs will back it off and hand it to Woodall. I think that's a load off of his mind too. When he can get down court, give it to Woodall, go reset.
Yeah. It has so many manifestations, right?
Good look to Robinson. Couldn't finish though. Loose ball. A nice finish underneath that time.
Coleman finishes. He knows all he has to do is run when Council is in the game. He's been the one on the finishing end of all these great passes. Council has 8 assists now.
10-point lead for Pittsburgh. Woodall, he's got Taylor on the wing. He'll take it in himself. Two shots coming up at the line for Woodall. He got off to a flying start this season with 25 points in the opening game.
I think he had 10 assists in that game too against Albany. He and Gibbs were really combining to score big points in the first couple of games. And of course, they had that shocking loss to Long Beach State, and then he went down soon after that. And then the loss that got everybody's attention was when they lost at home to Wagner. And then at that juncture, I think everybody realized the severity of the situation that they were facing.
Well, that loss to Wagner was the beginning of this 8-game losing streak.
Yep.
Now, as you read in the paper, okay, they're in the middle of an 8-game losing streak. If you're the coach, you hope they're not in the middle of a losing streak. It stands at 8. Cotton another 3. He has really come alive in the second half with 19 points.
Wow.
Council the steal and the 3. Bending off, and the rebound pulled down by Robinson. A minute to play.
You know, that's the kind of play Robinson is so good. Jamie Dixon has to play the guy. Even though he's small for his position, he is so aggressive and terrific at getting after the ball. Right here, Zana gives this up. This is just like a bad pass, no doubt about that. Council was just waiting on that one. But Robinson saves Zana by getting this rebound, bailing his teammate out.
Zana will sit down. Moore comes in.
Well, you wonder about what it's going to be like in Pittsburgh's locker room after this game. A sense of relief if they hold on here in the last minute. And it is not over yet.
Missing the front end. So if they do pull it out, all the air may be sucked out of this building with a collective sigh of relief for the fans. Nice almost finish inside by Coleman. Still they scrap along the baseline.
We got to hand it to Providence. Any team that beats Louisville by 30 has some heart. And they've showed it in this game. They got down big, 15 at halftime. They kept coming, couldn't close it, and then really did close it near the end of the game here. Cotton was great, as you mentioned, in the second half with 19. They've got some elements.
Moore is a good foul shooter. He'll get a chance here. Shoots at 83%, does J.J. Moore.
You mentioned the recruiting prowess of Ed Cooley and the players coming in for Providence. Plus all the guys here are back next year, so they're getting valuable experience.
Taylor on, Robinson out for Jamie Dixon. 10-point difference. Council steps down the lane, throws it up, bending off, and the rebound to Moore. He wants Taylor to run it down. Instead, he reverses to Woodall to Gibbs. Hinton is fouled out, according to my numbers.
Well, a promising freshman hits the road right here, but I'll tell you what, he'll play another day.
He'll leave with 12, and the Panthers will regroup, bring their troops together while the substitution is made by Ed Cooley. And we've talked a lot about Jerome Lane and what happened in Fitzgerald Fieldhouse 24 years ago. And Bill Hillgrove, who's the play-by-play man for radio, he and I were talking before the game. We both have pieces of that backboard someplace in our house.
Oh, nice.
Larry
little
Eldridge,
memorabilia, huh?
Larry Eldridge was the SID at that point, and he made sure we all got a piece of the backboard.
There's Bill, who you mentioned, and next to him, Dick Grote. Did you get a piece of the glass also? Did you bring some of the glass home? I like that.
(84-73). Zana is back on. Little offense-defense substitution for Jamie Dixon in the final 30 seconds. Cotton throws it up as he goes down the lane and draws a foul. He'll get a chance to go to the line. Second foul on Zana. Cotton will have 2 chances at the line. He is 2 for 2. Well, that took care of that. And all 19 of his points, Bob, coming in the second half.
A little bit unusual, but in a game earlier this year, Hollis Thompson of Georgetown scored 20 points in the second half, had 0 in the first half. So
well, that's exactly what Cotton's done.
There you go.
Johnson alone at the other end. Cotton for 3. Bending off, and the rebound pulled down by Patterson. That'll do it. And a huge sigh of relief from the fans here at Pitt. The 8-game losing streak is over.
You got to admire the fans, and you got to admire that guy, Trayvon Woodall. He is a difference maker in this team. We've said it all along. Now that he is back, Pittsburgh is back where they should be.
They get their first victory in Big East Conference play, the final tonight. The Panthers 86, Providence 74. For Bob Wenzel and our entire Big East crew, I'm John Sanders at the Peterson Event Center. We thank you very much for being with us. Panthers losing streak is over. They'll celebrate a little bit. Tonight's game has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN Regional Television, the worldwide leader in collegiate sports. We say good night from the city of Pittsburgh. The Panthers get the win. The losing streak is over.